Hi, Dave here. I'm here with my wife, Kathy.
Hello.
And this is the Cinemal, the podcast where we walk home from the movies. And we're also with our two kids, Oscar and Elliot, here today. Hi, boys.
Hi.
And can you tell everyone what movie we're going to see today? Who knows?
The Paw Patrol movie.
That's
and
right.
I like it.
Yeah, why do you like it?
Because pups saving people.
They do save people. Who's your favourite one?
Folks, that guy's
Rocky. Rocky.
Rocky's your favourite.
Yeah, why?
Why is Rocky your favourite?
Because he's so green and my favorite colour is green.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What does he do? What's Rocky's sort of
Rocky's
power?
awesome, folks.
Folks. What does he do? Do you remember?
No.
No.
You just like his
He
colour.
does recycling.
You just
that's,
like
that's his power.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't listen to him.
How do you know?
Listen to him.
How do you not know? Well, Kathy, how do you not know all of the pup's powers?
I watch.
You're very good at actually exiting the room anytime any of the kids'
I
TV
see
comes
Paw
on.
Patrol, but
Yeah.
I don't watch it.
I've engaged with it.
I've never-
looked it directly in the eyes.
We have actually seen a Paw Patrol movie in the cinema. Episode 187, we saw Paw Patrol Ready Race Rescue. I believe it was the day before Elliot was born. Oscar came with us.
It's the day before.
And it
Came
was,
with it.
you were in my tummy, you weren't born yet.
Ah.
And it is it's ranked in I think the top 3 most downloaded episodes of all time on this podcast.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, it's a wildly popular franchise. I don't know. I can't account for it either.
That
I
was
will
a
say,
45-minute movie.
What-
Sadly, turns out this one's feature length.
well, this is what I was going to say. There is a distinction, right? We kind of saw a big long episode. They made a lot of big long episodes of Paw Patrol that went to the
Hey,
cinema.
whoa, Robbie.
And then 2 years ago they made Paw Patrol the movie, which is the first. Okay.
I rock you.
Okay, our podcast is being
Sorry, we
taken
don't
over.
normally
What
record
do you
with
want
the
to say,
kids.
Oscar?
Yes, Oscar.
My mom is bizarre. I want to
She's
say
kind of
something.
bizarre. What do you want to say?
My dad is bizarre.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I think that might be a good point to leave it. Let's
No,
go.
go on, tell us about the Paw Patrol movie history.
Mama.
Wait a minute, guys.
Well,
Hey,
no.
Paw
Yeah,
Patrol,
I
Okay,
actually do.
okay.
think. Okay,
I
we're gonna wrap it up now. So we're gonna go see this movie because things are getting crazy.
Things are getting weird.
Things are getting bizarre, so to speak.
Okay,
we'll
so-
see you on the other side of this movie.
When our world is threatened, one team is ready to launch.
Did he say lunch?
No, I said launch.
The meteor's heading straight for us! Get down! Whoa!
It's giving off some kind of energy. I didn't do it. No way.
This September,
I think we got superpowers. And that's why I wear a hard hat.
Hi, we're back. So we have seen Paw Patrol, the mighty movie. Now, when we came out of the cinema immediately, we did turn on the recorder to get our kids' instant reaction. But it's just a bit chaotic, so that's not going to be the episode. So, so
Nobody needs to hear that.
here's what we're going to do. We're going to quickly now flash back to earlier, and you're going to hear what they thought, and then there'll be another audio transition, and you'll come back here, and we'll talk about the movie. So here you go. Here's what our kids thought.
I feel the need for super speed.
Okay, so we've all seen Paw Patrol, the mighty movie.
I like when the guys are in the water.
You liked when Sky fell in the water? Yeah. I guess spoilers for Paw Patrol, the mighty movie. Sky falls in the water. Yeah, what was your... this movie was a lot about Sky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last movie was about...
Chase.
Chase, yeah.
Elliot, do you think other kids would like it?
Yeah. I don't think so.
No, why not?
Because the show is not really good for kids.
Okay. Okay, say bye.
Okay, say bye, everyone.
Bye, folks. Bye, Daddy.
Great! Now the clumsy pup shoots fireballs out of his paws.
And what you may have just understood is that the 3.5-year-old Elliot, whose favourite TV show is Paw Patrol, loved this movie, was just so happy. And Oscar, the 6-year-old, kind of enjoyed it, but like it's already too babyish for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what you just heard. Now, Elliot was so happy. Honestly, it's an absolute treat to bring a 3-year-old to this movie for the 3-year-old. I myself had a great nap.
I napped too.
Yeah, we both napped.
But we couldn't see each other.
With the kids between us.
Yeah, the kids were between us.
We both kind of fell asleep.
And then we both nodded off at one point.
However, I got the
I had a
gist of
lovely
it.
nap.
Yeah, I was dozing in and out. So the gist of it, for anyone who has watched Paw Patrol,
Okay.
you may have already noticed, because this has already happened in the TV show, but the Paw Patrols have like leveled up, and obviously Nickelodeon needed to make new toys, so there's now a thing called the Mighty Pups, where they get special powers from like a meteor, is it? And
Which
and
was
they kind of level up. But
was
this
already
already
a thing.
happened in the TV show.
Yeah,
but
so
this movie acted like it had never happened before and threw me for a loop.
Yeah, so I think this is like the origin story of how they got their pup powers or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, look.
How they got their mighty
pup powers. So long story short, it's kind of classic. This is a classic superhero origin kind of movie. There's a meteor. The meteor gets opened up and there's like magic crystals which give all of the pups unique abilities that directly amplify their own sort of inner strengths that already exist. So but this kind of confused me slightly, because the firefighter Marshall, the dog, the Dalmatian who drives a fire truck, his firepower, his power that the crystal grants him is to create fire, which is the opposite of what a firefighter should and would do.
In direct opposition to what his life's mission is.
Exactly. He's creating fires. And also, as one of the other pups point out, he's the clumsiest one. So it's just like a real dangerous combo there. Marshall with firepower.
The power thing is an interesting one. Also, we were trying to talk about it in the intro, but we couldn't with kids. There's been 3 Paw Patrol movies, right? So the first one is Ready, Race, Rescue.
No, there's been way more.
Well, that we know of. Ready, Race, Rescue, which, as I mentioned in the intro, was like one of our highest rated episodes of all time, inexplicably. That's like a 40-minute race that the pups do literally around a track, right? It's unbelievably tedious. Then Dave has seen another feature film that I've managed to avoid. What's that one?
Well, that's Paw Patrol the movie. This is what I was trying to say in the intro, but it was just madness. Is that there was, I think, a lot of kids' cartoons do this, and Peppa Pig and Thomas the Tank Engine. The toddler stuff gets a special sort of cinematic feature, which is 30 or 40 minutes long.
Which is long
you
enough
bring
for
your
a toddler.
kids along. Peppa Pig has it and all that kind of stuff. But they're not like quote unquote movies. So then Paw Patrol the movie is what came out in 2021, which is a feature length. And you can see the difference in the animation
they look
style.
different,
They got bigger budgets. And I will say, to the strength of this movie, which I don't think is great.
Yeah, and this is now the second feature that we know of.
Yeah, this is the second proper feature, right? Whatever.
It does look different.
We are giving this so much more attention than it deserves.
Like, the pups have more texture.
The animation quality is great, isn't it?
The animation quality is okay.
I think it's good. I think
great's a really strong word for what we watched.
I thought their fur looked incredibly realistic, and
they
just wanted to pet them.
Hyper-realistic teddies. They at no point don't look like some form of a toy.
Oh sure, yeah. I didn't say photorealistic, but they look very textured, and
it really stretched the hour and a half. I think we can go to spoiler streets on this one.
Does
I
anyone
think
care?
we can spoil this movie.
First, I guess before you do that, would you recommend? I think we already said if you've got a 3-4-year-old.
If you have a 6-year-old, you're pushing it. They're too old. It's a nice family event if you've got small kids. I think the storytelling's pretty good, actually. Like, it's very clearly an origin thing. The peril is incredibly unperilous. Like, I was sitting next to Oscar, and at one point, now spoiler, but Sky falls from the sky and lands incredibly deeply in water. And I said to Oscar, "Oh my God, do you think Sky's dead?" And he just looked at me and was like, "No." At no point was he buying any form of peril. Like, this meteor is flying from the sky and they're only landing on Adventure City.
Yeah, that's because, Kathy, were you not paying attention, or were you asleep for this bit? The bad guy of this, the mad scientist whose name I forgot, she is drawing the meteors to Adventure City with a magnet, a giant magnet. So that's why.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Adventure City has no police force. when you dial 911, you get the Paw Patrol, and for anyone who doesn't know, it's
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 dogs, and then like a kid who's like, his voice is broken actually. He's maybe 12. He dresses like, during the day in They're the Mighty Pups, he's basically dressed like Tony Stark.
This is a common.
And then at night, he wears Paw Patrol pajamas, which is incredibly strange.
It's very on brand.
Because in this world, Paw Patrol aren't toys or like items that you can purchase. So he's like gone off and got these pajamas made for himself.
Well, this movie tried to have its cake and eat it and be a bit meta and be a bit self-aware, but I think it largely failed at doing that.
Whenever it made a joke that was for the adults, I cringed. I wanted to die.
Like, this is not. I mean, a lot of modern animation is, has become very accessible for adults, and there's jokes. DreamWorks would have jokes explicitly for the adults. Disney and Pixar, I would say, more subtle, and they have jokes that anyone can appreciate. But this is, I agree. This is just for kids, and then there would occasionally be like, hey, you can get your Paw Patrol merchandise down at the store. Watch out, parents! You're gonna have to buy it all, and we know you hate it. It's just like, but like, I'm not laughing with
work.
you.
Yeah.
You're laughing at us.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Like,
And it's also nothing was funny in this
Just because
movie.
I personally have dropped hundreds of euro on Paw Patrol merchandise, and,
Yeah.
and I've been to the cinema now twice. To
You
see Paw
can't then
Patrol
be like,
movie.
hey, we're shilling merchandise in the movie. I'm like no.
I think when I looked
F
over
you.
at Elliot, and at one point, now spoiler, but Mayor Humdinger becomes like a giant, and the joy on Elliot's face,
couldn't believe
it was the
that.
sweetest thing I've ever seen. So it is a lovely thing. Primarily though, what we need to talk about this film is, now Skye is the quote unquote girl Paw Patrol. She wears pink.
Well, there's
right?
two now, because
Well,
every time there's a movie, they introduce new characters, brackets toys.
Yeah, well, they needed to introduce
which becomes
another girl.
entirely unsustainable.
Yeah,
so
but
you've got
they
the girl
needed-
from the last movie, and now you've got 3 kids who are in this movie. Anyway,
But they needed to introduce another girl because it was pathetic
Oh, sure,
that they
yeah,
only had
yeah.
one girl. And she was called Skye, and she's pink, and even her eyes are pink, right? And I think this film was like, you know what, Skye needs an origin story. Skye needs like something. So this film kind of became from Skye's perspective, and Skye's kind of flashbacks to her youth. And Skye's biggest problem in life is that she's the smallest pup, right? And we learned that writer's tagline of no job's too big, no pup's too small. He wrote for Skye, which is like whatever. But the plot itself annoyed me because it didn't go anywhere. Like, Skye's still the smallest. Like,
but
that's
she's
just
just
her
as
size.
capable as the rest.
Yeah, but I just don't.
Is that
think
what the movie's trying to say?
I think so, but I don't think it was going anywhere. And then why is Skye Welsh? She's
Well,
not Welsh in the TV show, right?
Let's talk about the voice acting, because what is peculiar here is that you can watch Paw Patrol on many different like streaming services. Like, they've maxed it; it's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And I remember during the pandemic, when our kids were really young, I was very used to them all having British voices, so I
Yeah.
just assumed it's a British thing.
That's because we were watching it on Nickelodeon in England.
Was that it?
Yeah.
And then suddenly it was on Netflix or something,
Netflix
and they were all
American.
American.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn you, Netflix, you Americanized these like you did Thomas the Tank Engine.
Or
And-
Dave, it's converse, and maybe it started.
Well,
as
that's
American
what it
and we
turns
were
out. I
watching
looked
British.
into it, and it is that. It
Yeah.
is, they do a localized, British accent version, but no Irish representation, by the way. Disappointing. Welsh is Skye, but they
That's
should have
'cause no
thrown a
Irish-
few Scots and Irish in
Yeah,
Skye
but no
as well.
Irish channels airing it though. If like RTE
Well,
was airing it, they'd probably
Couldn't
do
you
Irish
give
accents.
couldn't you give Chase like a thick Dublin accent? How you rider?
Anyway,
no, but listen-
Skye's Welsh now.
But listen, this is. I was watching this, and I realised that we're watching the British version of this movie, which is interesting because I don't want to single anyone out, and I know there's some kid actors here, but particularly the adult voice acting is not good in this movie. Like, it's notably bad. There are some characters who are just like some of the worst vocal performances you will ever see.
It's not cinema level,
And
it's TV
no,
level.
it's really
Yeah.
bad.
And I
And-
think it's because they got actual famous people to do the American voices.
Well, no, but this is what I'm saying. We got the shitty version.
Yeah.
Because then the credits comes up, and it's just flashing up names like James Marsden, Kristen Bell. And I'm like, what? We could have had that. You know,
But we did get I think we got the Kim Kardashian performance.
No, I don't think so. That didn't sound like. Oh, well, who knows? Yeah, Kim Kardashian was apparently in this movie. Or
The
there's
voice acting
a
is-
dog modelled after.
The names are bizarre. Maybe, do you know what? They were probably hoping that all those celebrities would roll out publicity for them, and then with the strike,
Yeah.
they've probably paid all those celebrities for like half a day recording, and now they can't even use them in the publicity. So it's completely pointless. But the Sky origin story thing, I liked at least that the film was trying to centre Sky, because I do hate when our kids watch shows like, we have 2 boys, hate when they watch shows like Paw Patrol or Ninjago, and there's just one girl character, and it is pathetic. So I was glad to see Sky
It's kind of tokenism, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just pathetic. Like, and I am glad that Sky got singled out and got her own plot line at the very least, and like Sky. Now, spoiler, but Sky's the one who saves the day at the end. But also they had that message about the teamwork, and they're all passing the kind of diamonds back and forth to each other or whatever. So I think, like, it's totally fine. There was a lot of people there. I'd say this movie's not going to do bad money. It's just
clean up.
It's just, I think,
But
overall, like, Paw Patrol just saddens me because it's just crap.
Well, it's just blatant commercialism.
Yeah.
And like that has no real inherent value. There was nothing that this movie did that was new or inventive, but it doesn't need to do that. It just
Mayor
doesn't need
Humdinger is a giant, and Elliot is obsessed with that now.
But like that's the
He's
thing.
3.
It like served its function as entertaining our kids. So I guess it has value in that regard.
And most movies aren't aimed at kids that young, in fairness to them.
Yeah.
Like most Disney movies and stuff, they'd be a high U or a PG. Like this, there's very rare films in the cinema that are legitimately for 3, 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
So I think in that sense, it's nice.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I
Yeah.
will say it kind of bothered me a bit, like from if they were going to do a sort of derivative arc, I kind of thought it was going to be about you don't need to have superpowers to work
Exactly,
together as a team.
yeah.
But that's not the
wasn't
way they
it,
went.
yeah.
I thought that's where they're going. Instead, it was like, no, we do need superpowers, but you only need one crystal that you can share
you can all
amongst you
share, yeah.
to fight someone with 5 crystals. And I'm just like, that's a
And
kind
I
of
just
more
think,
diluted.
like, the main thing about them is they
message.
just have no personalities. Like Rubble's supposed to be the kind of funny one. If I had to spend 5 minutes with Rubble, like, I don't know what I'd do, because he's so annoying. He's the comic relief, and like Sky is the star, but she has just absolutely no personality. All she does is sit around feeling sorry for herself because she's not the biggest pup. It's like, all right, Sky, like, can you do something else? And then Ryder is bizarre. He has
Where does
no
he get his
human friends.
resources?
He has
Like-
no human friends. They have a tower in the middle of the city.
But when their tower gets destroyed, like in Act 1, and it's just like a big moment, and then it's like,
has no
and
repercussions.
then it's like, oh my god, our home, and then it's like, oh, that's okay, let's go live on our giant
Submarine?
giant cruiser, our landing U.S. military level landing carrier that is docked just off Adventure Bay. We'll go live there instead.
And there's
then,
no adults. Like, there's no. But Ryder has no human friends. He has no personality.
But where
He's
does
just
he-
like, it's bizarre.
Where does he get? How does he fund all this stuff? And then, like, he has billions of dollars
Yeah.
worth of technology, and then suddenly they get their superpowers, and in the middle of the night, and then Ryder wakes up to this, and he's like, "Whoa, you've all got superpowers? Hey, great! Guess what? Here's your new suits, and I got
when
you
did he
all
make the
I got you
suits?
all new vehicles." I'm like, you were asleep, man.
Yeah.
How did you? He must have just round the clock manual labor.
I don't even think it's feeding into like a kid's fantasy of like being the kid in charge, because I don't think any child would want to be like Ryder, who has no human friends, and it's just like
and an
always
immense
on
responsibility.
Police
he
lieutenant.
has to cover the needs of the entire city.
But then
The
I
other-
hate the point when then one of the people in the show calls 911 and gets through to Paw Patrol, and then they say, "Oh, I know it's a bit weird that we phoned Paw Patrol, but like, just roll with it." It's like, well, no, you can't say that, because you unpicked the whole show. You unpicked the whole thing.
But that's what I mean. That's
Can't
the
be
show. That's the
self-aware.
movie trying to be funny and
Yeah.
winking to the adults. But I'm like, no, you're not. I'm not laughing with you,
Yeah.
movie. And also that bothered me so much as well, because she's like, yeah, no, don't worry. They are our full response unit, and so but like cut to, and meanwhile she's inside a burning building.
Yeah, cracking
and
jokes.
her entire scrapyard is about to burn. So she has maybe minutes to spare.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Paw Patrol, help us, and then it's like then you cut to the pups getting out of bed, like going down some slides, taking ages, and then mobilizing their units off the helicarrier one by one.
Yeah.
And a machine has to name them.
Yeah.
It's like, Zuma, are you ready? And then there's a countdown. 10, 9. I'm like, that woman is dead by now.
Yeah, that woman.
She has died.
She will not
like,
survive
that's
this.
That's why police or emergency response units are like, they're roaming. They're on the roads. They're ready to go.
I never knew this.
Paw Patroller take too long to mobilize.
Paw Patrol have no backup. Ryder only introduces in this movie these 3 new, really little
The
pups.
junior pups. The
And it's
new
like,
toys.
They're your backup. But I feel like there was a cat pack at some point because Elliot has a poster that has Paw Patrol but cats.
Oh, that's Mayor Humdinger has cats?
Right, so they're
For
not
some
in this
reason?
one, yeah.
Anyway, why are we
it's-
talking about
we
this?
need to stop talking about it. I half enjoyed it. Cat.
It's certainly
Do you
watchable.
recommend?
I've watched kids stuff that is completely unwatchable
Yeah.
and ugly. This
You say
is
watchable,
entirely serviceable. It's fine.
I raised a point that we both separately fell asleep at different points in the film.
Oh, but it's like we've there's nothing of interest here.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I mean, I let it happen.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Thank you for listening. Let us know what you thought about Paw Patrol, the Mighty Pups, or
No,
indeed
no.
the other Paw Patrol properties that you may have watched.
Yeah.
Come over to our patreon.com/cinema where we do a ton of movie and TV reviews, and you can get the first 7 days free. So if you sign up, you can listen for 7 days, and then you can just unsubscribe, and you
Yeah.
don't even have to keep paying.
but please do.
But please do. But go for it.
Because there's loads of stuff coming out. We've got a Event Horizon up there. We're about to do a poll for Kathy's birthday movie, which is coming up in October. And we've got full reviews of The Fall of the House of Usher. Coming, or it's up there now, depending on when you've heard this.
Yeah.
And what else? Loads of other stuff. We do what we've been watching. We talk about TV shows. So yeah, come join us. Patreon.com/TheCinemile, or you can email us thecinemile@gmail.com, or we're on Instagram and Letterboxd @TheCinemile.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm Laura.
I'm Lauren.
And this is Go Love Yourself. She went, you're 26? I was like, size 26? Yeah. And she was like, oh, right, that makes sense.
This is the show where we're learning to love ourselves a little more and taking you along with us.
I grew up never seeing anybody that looked like me, and that made me feel like not part of society, like almost like not a woman, because I just never felt like I fit in.
If you've got a relative that is mean about your body, Laura, what do we say to them?